Good morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today we are going to talk about, which I'm actually quite late. I think we're like 3 weeks or a month in. You guys know I'm always late, but we are going to talk about, I guess, this scandal that happened on TikTok, okay? I'm going to play the video and then we will get into it. We will get into other people's reactions and then we will get into my thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before I show you the video, I just want to give you some background. I want to give you a little bit of context because I think that if I just show the video, I think your reaction is going to be a little bit different. And whenever I'm doing these videos, I try to come at it from both sides. I try to understand both sides, okay? So there was a video that was posted by a white TikToker. She is based in the UK. Her content surrounds, or her content is about etiquette. How to dress, how to talk, how to eat, your hair, just basically how to be an elegant and classy woman. She will give examples of things that are elegant and things that are not elegant, things that are elegant and things that are not elegant. I will show you the video, you know, what just kind of started this scandal, and then we will get into it. But I wanted to give that background because you might be trying to figure out, well, where did this come from? That's where it came from. That is what her content is about. I will also say this, you heard me say TikToker from UK. This is a white woman, okay? I will say this, I am not on TikTok, you guys know that, and I was not getting ready to, I guess, subscribe or put the app on my phone just to see what this is about. And just keep that in mind. I'm not like an expert when it comes to TikTok, but I know the basic parts about it, okay? So you just heard me say that this woman is I guess you could say, an etiquette content creator. So she is on TikTok, and this TikTok that we were talking about specifically has since been taken down. But she has now since started a YouTube channel, and she has several videos. I did watch one video, and I watched all of her shorts on YouTube. She had about 20. And I will say this, her content is still the exact same that it is on YouTube, or that it is on TikTok, okay? I will say this, I went through all of her TikToks and she was giving examples of things that are elegant and things that are not elegant. She never gave a comparison about, or it was never always just the white woman is elegant and the black woman is not. She never did that. She did give some examples. She had about 20 shorts, and I would say in 2 of them, she did use black women as an example of elegant, right? So with that being said, like you heard me say, this is a white woman. She's from the UK. I would put her anywhere between the age of, let's say, 25 and 35. So we have already established her audience, okay? We've already established her audience base. We have already established her demographic, right? I am going to assume, and I think it's a very safe assumption, that her audience is probably anywhere from 90 to 95% white, maybe like middle to upper class women and women who are just looking to take that next step or looking to move into that next phase of their life, okay? Remember that demographic and then watch the video, okay? So I just wanted to give you that background. To me, that's what her demographic is. Most of the time, people will gravitate, especially when it comes to content creators. You follow a content creator or you watch someone's content because they're relatable, they give good tips, maybe you aspire or you have some type of thing that's in common. You know, people are starting to call them parasocial relationships. You form some type of bond with this person, or their content could even be entertaining. Content doesn't necessarily always have to be educational. It can also be entertaining, right? So just keep those things in the back of your mind when you're watching the video, and then we'll come back to it, okay? So now I'm going to show you the video.
Elegant. Not elegant. Elegant. Not elegant. Elegant. Not elegant.
Okay, so now that you've seen the video, this was my immediate thought. Like, these were my first 3 thoughts, and I'm going to give you the 3 scenarios that I'm talking about. So first, you guys know, like I said, but I'm not on TikTok. So I have very basic knowledge of what TikTok is and how it functions. But what I do know is that someone can ask you a question, someone can do a comment, or someone can, make a request. And typically what someone will do if someone has asked a question is like that little box where it's like the box is white and then the writing is black. Okay, someone will make a request, and then if, I guess, enough of your audience keeps asking you the same question, you just answer it through a video and then you post it, right? So you have seen the video, and as I said, I watched some of her shorts and I did watch one of her videos. I was trying to find the request, comment, or question that someone asked her, and then she made this piece of content. To me, that matters. And let me explain to you why, because I'm going to give you the 3 reasons. So the first reason, or the first scenario, is that even like in one of the reactions that I saw, I couldn't see the actual box, and I probably spent like 30 minutes trying to find the comment that she was responding to. And the reason why I'm saying that is if someone specifically asked her and said, hey, can you include Black women, Afro texture hair, or curly hair, and give us examples of what is curly hair and what is not, then what I have to say to that is you will notice that 2 of the 3 hairstyles that she gave when she said elegant and not elegant, the first one she said that was not elegant was the Chinnabumps. The second one was like the Afro puffs. You inserted yourself in a culture that you know nothing about, that you were pretty naive about, that you were pretty ignorant about. Notice those 2 hairstyles were, I guess you could say, the furthest from like a European spectrum. Notice that those were the ones, because even with the one she said that was elegant, where it was just like 1 bow, and then the other one was not elegant because it had 3. I guess you could say that that would be more or so of an ethnic hairstyle, because it has, I was gonna say doodads, it has all of like the barrettes and the bows and the, hair ornaments and all of that. But I think for what stood out was the Chinnabums, also known as Bantu knots. The Chinnabums, she classified them as not elegant, and then she also said the Afro puffs were not elegant. While for myself, I find that both of those hairstyles are very elegant. Me personally, if I was I am grown, but if I was like a teenager or someone who is grown, I wouldn't have put all of like the flowers and the barrettes in my hair as a style to go out. For a photo shoot, absolutely. During a photo shoot, you're artistic, the success of a photo shoot is how artistically, I guess you could say, sound, or how artistically creative someone can be. For an everyday hairstyle, would I do that? No. Would somebody else? Absolutely. Why not? So I think the first one is that if someone asked her that specifically, notice the hairstyles that she labeled as not elegant. Like I said, you inserted yourself into a culture that you knew nothing about, right? And one of the reactions that a Black hairstylist said, or in the comments, someone said to her, well, someone specifically asked her that. The reaction of that woman was, I never saw that. Like, I saw the original video and I did not see that specifically. The next scenario is that if someone just gave her or asked her a very broad question, which would be, hey, can you show hairstyles that are elegant versus what is not elegant? My question to her would be, if someone just gave you that blanketed statement or that blanket request, why, when we've already established pretty much what your audience is, why was that the piece of content that you chose to create? Because you notice in that piece of content, there were no white women, there were no other minority women, it was just Black women. And furthermore, I don't know if anybody else notices this, but when it comes to Black hair, especially natural Black hair, we don't typically look outside of the natural hair community or just outside of the Black community in general for advice on our natural hair. So that's the second scenario. I'm curious, because like I said, we've established her audience, and if someone just gave her a general request, I don't understand why that was the piece of content that she made. That would be my question. And then again, going back to the 2 hairstyles out of the 3 that she showed, why those are not elegant. The third scenario, which most people are assuming, or what most people are going with, is that she just did it on purpose. She knew exactly what she was doing and she did it on purpose. To that, I won't necessarily agree with that, because it brings me back to the second scenario. We've already established this woman's demographic. I'm not really sure why that would be the piece of content that she would choose to share on that day. Okay, so after all of the uproar, she first states that she is not going to apologize because she was trying to be inclusive, I guess you could say, of all people, and then at this time she decided to include Black women. She wanted to be inclusive, which I can understand that. However, what people keep pointing out and what I'm pointing out is that you inserted yourself into a culture that you know nothing about. If indeed that was the question that was asked of you, I have no idea. I don't know what this woman's friends circle looks like, so I don't know if she actually even had the access to a natural hair woman who is Black. I think she should have done some research first. If you were going to make content like that, which again brings me back to the first scenario and the second scenario, if someone did indeed specifically ask you for that, I think you should have done a little bit more research. So she says that she's not apologizing. I guess she gets even more flack because at this point she's been dragged. She's been dragged by Black women, she's been dragged by white women, and she's actually been dragged by some men. So then she apologizes. I'll put the apology right here. And then, of course, the reactions for that was, you're not actually sorry. You know, you just don't want to lose your following. You just don't want to lose your community. You did it on purpose. You're not sorry. You're sorry that someone called you out on it and you actually had to answer. You actually had to answer for it, right? And then I guess her final statement, or the final thing that happened in this saga, was that so she said that she wasn't going to apologize. Then she apologizes, and then she puts out another statement that says, okay, she, just to alleviate all of this, she is no longer going to include Black women in her content from now on, even though she was trying to be inclusive. So essentially she doubled down. Okay, so let's talk about my thoughts. The first thing, just like I gave you the 3 scenarios, the first thing that I have to say is I need more. To me, it does matter. It matters, and really in this context, it should matter to everyone. I want to see the question or the request that was originally asked of her, because it's not necessarily twofold, but it's 2 different situations. If someone specifically asked her to include non-elegant, elegant hairstyles for Afro texture, or for Black women, or for natural hair, like I said in the beginning, I find it very interesting, which is very telling. I find it very interesting that out of the 3 hairstyles that she talked about that were not elegant, 2 of them were very cultural hairstyles. You go to Africa, you will see them everywhere. You go to certain parts of the Caribbean, you will see them everywhere. You know, certain parts here in the United States, you will see them everywhere. And people do adorn their hair. Not so much with the flowers and the barrettes, but when people have chin bumps, they might have 2 cornrows coming down. They might have like a necklace right here. They might like have beads coming down with the tendrils or the braids. They might put little gold rings in the chin bumps. To me, it is beautiful, but I am of that culture. I know what it's about. I know the history. So like I'm saying, for the first scenario, it matters to me because, again, you inserted yourself in a culture that you knew nothing about, and you did not take the time to educate yourself, right? Because like I said, out of the 3 hairstyles, she said the chin bumps and she said that the Afro puffs were not elegant. In your culture, in your eyes, in your view. But to me, they are absolutely beautiful. They're elegant to me. And the second reason why I'm saying it does matter is because, again, if someone did not specifically ask her that, and again, As I said in this video before, we've already established her audience. We've already established her demographic. Why did you take it upon yourself, again, to insert yourself into a culture, into a space that you know nothing about? That's why I'm saying, for me, the context matters. I would like to see the request that was asked of her. The third one, like I said, if she did it, she did it. If she did it on purpose. And I guess the main question that someone would ask if they're watching this video is, do I think she is a racist, or do I think what she did was racist? I am going to say no. I'm not going to flat out call this woman a racist, because like I said, she has already been dragged to the ends of the earth, right? She's already been dragged, she's already been collected, she's already been gathered, she's already been gotten together, right? Now she does it again, that's different. I'm not going to call her a racist. When you're ignorant, you just don't know, right? But if someone educates you, if someone teaches you, if someone sits you down and says, hey, next time you do this, you might want to do a little bit of research, it's a teachable moment. If she doesn't take the lesson, or if she doesn't understand the lesson, and then she just does it again anyway, that's different, okay? That's a completely different story. She did not know, right? Should she have taken the time to maybe educate herself prior to making that video? Absolutely. So like I said, I'm not going to call her a racist. My eyebrow was raised, but I'm not going to call her a racist, okay? Okay, so let's keep this conversation going in the chat or in the comments. You guys know over here, we try to keep it very, very, very respectful. If you do not agree, that's fine. Put it in the comments, we can have a conversation, but just make sure to keep it respectful. We can disagree and still respect one another's opinions, okay? I just want to remind you that here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, you know, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.